In this video, we're going to go through how to use the cookie form generator. What this software does is it creates a form that you can use standalone or you can embed it in your website. And then people put information in the form and it's stored in the form of cookies on the browser. And then you can use that information on any other web page. Okay, so first of all, in the first question, whether you want to use it standalone, in other words, it's just going to be on your server as its own page. And then when they fill in the information, they will be redirected to another page of your choice. If you pick no, then it's going to be embedded on a page. Okay, so I'm going to show you both options. First, we're going to use it as standalone. Okay, next, enter any HTML you want above the form. You can put HTML above the form and below the form, which is optional. Okay, so that's just so you can build it sort of like you would a squeeze page. You can put your HTML of your headlines and so on over top, and any footers on the bottom. Okay, so let's just put center H1 headline. Now you can now use a web editor to design your headings if you want, and then just paste the resulting code in here if you're not familiar with HTML. And of course it's totally optional. And let's just copy this, and then we'll put it in the footer. Okay, next, enter the URL to redirect to after the form is submitted. Okay, so if you were going to upload this page to your server just to collect some information, then you wanted to send it to your blog or whatever, you could put that URL in here. It's got to be a fully qualified URL like you see there. Okay, the title of the form. This appears right above the form, and this is optional as well. Okay, number of input fields. You can have up to 4 different fields of information. So name, address, phone, whatever. Okay, you can pick whatever you want it to be. Let's just go with 2. You can pick up to 4. Okay, the number of days to keep the cookies. This is how long they will stay on somebody's browser until they expire. Default is 1 year. 365 days. Name of the first cookie. So the cookie is the parameter that they're going to fill in on the form. So we could say your name. One thing about this, make sure you don't put any quotes in here, or it will mess up the code that's generated. No quotes and no special characters. You can use numbers, letters, and spaces. Name of the second to save. Let's say your email. Now you can use this form for any purpose, your favorite movies or your favorite television cares. Sky's the limit as to what you can do with it. This is what it says on the button. Enter yes to complete. Okay, just telling you that you're done. Now we click create and we save the output. Okay, so I'm going to put it in a form called cookie test. Let's just save it. Okay, and here it is. Now you can save this project. If you exit here, you can save the project and then you can load it back up in here if you want. Let's just save it. Okay, so I'll save it in a folder called cookie proj, and this is standalone. Of course, you can call it anything you want. Okay, so now we can load that back up if you want. Okay, so here is what has been created. Now you have instructions here, and what it says here is that if you're going to use it as a standalone, you just upload the file called formoutput.html. Otherwise, if you want to embed it, you copy everything from here down into the spot on your website where you want it to appear. So let's close this. And then here we have the information you need to retrieve the cookie. We'll get to that in a minute. And here's the form that's been generated. So you could just upload this to your server and use it. You can rename it if you like as well. So let's just open this. Okay, so here's what our form looks like. There's the headline, there's the footer, and here are our fields. Okay, so let's put in our name. So Rocky. And email. Okay, and then the redirect URL. See, it says let's go here. The redirect should take us to yahoo.com, and when we hit let's go. So let's do that. Okay, and away it goes. Now, if you go to tools and options here, now let's go look at the cookies it created. Because I'm running on my own computer, it creates cookies right here. So let's open this. And you'll see that there's your name and your email. Those are the two cookies we created. Inside your name is the word Rocky. Inside your email is my email at email.com. Okay, so those are all ready to be retrieved on the same server. Okay, now let's go back and have a look at this. This is the code you need to retrieve the cookie. So this code will retrieve the name or the your name field, okay? So you take everything from here to here and paste it in your website wherever you want that to appear, and the word and the value your name actually from here. If you copy this, it'll have your name colon and then what is in the cookie. So let's just to demonstrate this real quickly, I'm going to rename this to an HTM. It's going to not be formatted well, but you can just see that it does retrieve it. So it says here, your name Rocky, your email is my email at email.com. So as you see, it has retrieved the information. Okay, now let's go through and do an embedded example. Okay, so we'll say no, it's not going to be standalone. We're going to embed it in a web page. Click next. Okay, we have the same thing here. I'm going to just leave these blank, but it will show up if you put it in there. Our form title, we'll say embedded. And then next, number of input fields. Let's just go with 1 this time. Okay, number of days, same thing again. Name of the first cookie to save. This time I'm going to say your favorite movie. Click next. And then again, there's our text. Okay, now it pops a little box when it's been submitted because it doesn't actually take you to a new page anymore. It stays on your web page, but it just alerts you that your submission was successful. So this is the default text. You can change that if you want. Let's click next. Okay, again, enter yes when you're done and create. Okay, so we'll save it in cookie test. And this time I'm going to save it as embed and exit. Okay, here we are this time now. So there's our output form. There's what it'll look like when it's standalone. Now let's put it inside of a web page. I'm going to copy a web page over into here. Okay, so here's the web page. This would be our home page. There it is, and we're going to embed this, and you can embed it anywhere you want on here. So let's go back to our code here, and what we need to do is just go into instructions and grab all of this right from here down, copy, and then open our web page. Now you can open this with a web editor, or you can open it with a notepad, whichever you're familiar with. Let's just open it with a web editor. I'll just use Composer here, which is a free web editor. So we click open. Okay, so in cookie test here, we'll open up the index page. And we can put the form wherever we want. Let's just put it right after Dear Reader here. Okay, then we just do insert HTML, paste, insert, and save. Okay, that's it. Now let's refresh this. Okay, and there's our form embedded right in the web page. Simple as that. Favorite movie, and submit. Okay, now you see there's the little box that popped, just to let you know that it took the cookie and submitted it. And it stays on the form because when it's embedded, you're not going to want to take them somewhere else. Now let's go look at our cookies again. And there it is, your favorite movie and Van Wilder. That %20 there is a space. It converts to a space. Now, just to prove it to you, let's go back to here. And that's the old one left over there. Let's just rename this to HTML again. And I'll show you that it will retrieve it properly. Okay, so here, favorite movie, Van Wilder. Okay, so now what you can do is retrieve that information on any page. So for instance, if your blog's on the same domain, you could say welcome and then their name would be on there. Well, in this case, I have the movie on here. But if you had collected their name, you could put that JavaScript that I just showed you there onto your blog page, and it would retrieve their name. So you could always retrieve their name on your site at any time, as long as the cookie's there, which is for a year. Okay, so there's lots of ways you can use this to retrieve information about them and display it back on their browser, on any web page they're on. Okay, so that's how easy it is to use the cookie form generator.